Now it's 7
These
o'clock.
are children. Let them be children.
Now it's 7 o'clock. An 11-year-old Salem girl is safe after her suspected kidnapper is found hiding. We're going to look at surveillance video that shows him getting caught.
And speaking of caught on camera, a woman in the Pro District assaulted in broad daylight. Why some longtime residents say they no longer feel safe in their neighborhood. Plus,
by the end of 2027, everyone across Oregon will be able to recycle the same materials and have the same access.
New recycling laws here in Oregon. Chris McGinnis is going to break down what this means for your recycling habits, coming up in a Good Energy Report as we kick off the 7 o'clock hour of sunrise right now.
good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill standing by. We just mentioned that Chris has good energy this morning, Rod. We're hoping that you have at least decent energy.
How's that, huh?
What is that?
That's crazy energy, Rod.
That's called I stepped my toe.
He's never going to be able to get the air back to deliver this particular report.
I am becoming famous for running out of breath as I'm getting older. You are correct, my friend. Here's our Salem sky camera. The cloud deck is pretty thin, and there are breaks in it, and we think this will become a partly to mostly sunny day as we advance through the day. Right now, 62. We're all dry. This will be a dry, super comfortable day. There's the Rose City camera. 62 is the number. Sunshine, 67 at noon, and even with developing sun, very pleasant outside, 75 the expected high. Here's Chris McGinnis.
I'd say that's some pretty good energy with a good forecast. All right, the I-5 drive bunching up at the Interstate Bridge, normal for this hour of a Thursday morning commute. 12 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. We'll hop over onto the west side, zooming into the sunset here. Highway 26 starting to bunch up a little bit coming down the hill from the zoo into the Vista Ridge Tunnel. Drive on the west side, not bad. 16 minutes right now gets you in from Hillsborough. Big heads up here, though. We got a one-day reprieve yesterday, but ODOT is back at it again today. Cornelius Pass Road, they're doing chip sealing starting at 8 o'clock. That'll be most of the day today and tomorrow, and that means a pilot car and alternating single-lane traffic through the work zone. That'll cause some major delays for you if Cornelius Pass Road north of Germantown is part of your normal commute. You may want to consider taking the Sunset to 405 to Highway 30 as the traffic solution around that. Again, guys, that's both today and Friday. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. Top story here at 7 o'clock. A parent's worst nightmare played out this week in Salem as an 11-year-old girl went missing from her family's home.
Thankfully, the girl is safe this morning after what police are calling an attempted kidnapping. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us from the newsroom with more on the suspect. Corey.
That's right, Drew. China. It all happened Tuesday afternoon. Roy Ivy tells KGW he couldn't find his daughter, an 11-year-old with low spectrum autism, after she had been out in their front yard. Now that's when an hours-long search kicked off in the surrounding area with Salem police and community members searching for her. Around 8:30 that night, a neighbor spotted some suspicious activity in a secluded area covered by bushes and told investigators. Now it's a tip that led authorities to find the suspect, 48-year-old Elijah Galives Arce, and that girl. According to Ivy, Arce lured his daughter with the promise to see rocks and crystals. Surveillance video shows the moments police arrested Arce. He's now facing kidnapping and sex abuse charges.
These sorts of behaviors are very abnormal in a community as a whole, and typically, in my experience and my training, these sorts of behaviors don't sort of pop up overnight.
Now, detectives tell us Arce could have additional victims. Anyone with information is asked to call the Salem Police tip line at the number listed on your screen. At 8 o'clock, we'll hear from Roy Ivy, the father of that girl, on the search to find his daughter earlier this week. China?
Thank you, Corey. In the meantime, police in Longview are searching for an armed and dangerous man they say stabbed two people, killing one of them. 51-year-old Alexander Rogers right there may still be driving a partially black spray-painted BMW with a Washington plate that starts with BNU. He's accused of killing 64-year-old Don Peters and trying to kill a 73-year-old Andrew Peters. Police say they were found stabbed in a home off 42nd Avenue and Pennsylvania Street Tuesday. Investigators believe he is still in the area.
Vancouver police say they found a man dead in his apartment after he crashed a tow truck into several cars and then ran away. This happened last night just after 5 o'clock on Mill Plain near 160th. Police say the man ran a red light, hit at least 4 cars. 10 people were hurt, 2 of them seriously. Police later found the driver at his apartment complex, But when officers got inside his apartment, they say he was already dead after he apparently took his own life. Following that story, we do want to remind you that if you or someone you know is struggling, help is available 24/7. You can call or text that number on your screen, 988, to reach the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, which provides confidential support and crisis resources.
Crews responded to a fire in an apartment complex in Gresham just after 4 this morning. A resident at that apartment complex told us that they noticed smoke coming from their neighbor's unit. Now, that resident also said they believe the neighbor started the fire and that it was not the first time.
And I went through my front door and saw there was smoke, and so I woke up my roommate, grabbed her cats, and we got out. This is not the first time this neighbor has set a fire.
Gresham Fire also told us that the same unit had a fire on July 26. 3 apartments were affected as crews worked to fight the flames. Police and fire investigators are now looking into the cause of today's fires. Portland police have identified the man suspected of drawing a swastika on the doorframe of a Northeast Portland business. They say community tips helped them identify the man as 38-year-old Joseph Thompson. Thompson was already in jail, accused of threatening someone with a knife and yelling slurs in the Lloyd district. Police also confirmed Thompson was arrested in May after causing damage to a Papa Murphy's in Woodstock, but he was released on bail. Thompson now faces a new bias crime charge related to the swastika drawing.
All right, some of the wildest video of the morning right here. It shows a woman walking in the Pearl District out front of the Fields Bar and Grill on 11th and Northrop, and you see right there she's attacked basically out of nowhere. Someone from the restaurant helps her inside, then locks the door.
Now, that attack is a recent example of what longtime residents in the Pearl say is a significant shift when it comes to safety.
Well, it makes us feel unsafe, especially when the assaults are happening in our blocks. And, you know, they're happening to elderly people because we have a huge elderly population here in the Pearl.
I did buy some mace, some mace, because I realized you got to protect yourself. You know, there's no police to come to your rescue.
In another incident last month, Portland police say a man followed a resident into a condo parking garage, stole a camping hatchet from a vehicle, then carried it around inside the garage. Neighbors we spoke with also expressed concerns that the new 200-bed homeless overnight shelter that's set to open in the area next month will only make the problem worse. Cute. One of the best things to do in the summer? Go swimming, even if you're an elephant. Earlier this week, Tula 2 took some swim lessons with her mom and aunties at the Oregon Zoo. According to wildlife experts, elephants are naturally strong swimmers. They can submerge their entire bodies, leaving only the tips of their trunks above the surface to breathe. So there is a 6-month elephant that can swim better than my co-anchor.
Oh, wow.
That's true,
I'm
yeah.
not a strong swimmer. Yeah, what do you want from me? Would you call what they're doing there at the zoo with the elephants a doggy paddle, or is that a pachyderm paddle?
Pachyderm.
Pachyderm paddle.
That's catchy, actually.
Yeah.
I like that.
Look at him, pachyderm paddling over there.
Yes. Very catchy. We have a beautiful day today. Maybe not, I don't know, when you're a kid, I remember, you don't care if it's hot or warm. If you're at the pool, you're having a great time. But if you're an adult, I'm going to say maybe if you're at the pool, you wish it was a little bit warmer. We're talking about 75 this afternoon. Here's the Chehalem Tasting Room camera out in Sherwood. These clouds are expected to break up, and we'll move forward today with partly to mostly sunny skies going into this afternoon. 60 in Sherwood right now. We'll show you a couple of golf courses. There's the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club, 62. We have sun over this one. This is Lewis River up in Woodland. You can see some nice blue. So confidence is high that this will turn into a partly to mostly sunny day and super comfortable. Here are the temperatures out the door. 57 in Forest Grove and 56 in Battleground. Happy Valley's at 55. Estacada 57. Salem's in the 60s. Albany 60 and Almsville 63. Here's your temperature, what I call the temperature parade through noon. 67 at noon. We'll have some sunshine, I think, at that time. And then 71 at 2 o'clock. And we'll hold in the 70s this afternoon. Couple spots get up to 80. Eugene's one of them. Corvallis could be a spot. Pendleton might get up to 80 and Burns might get up to 80. This shows 78 at 5 o'clock. But generally it's 70s statewide with a dry afternoon, 60s at the coast, 50s up at Timberline Lodge as the overall batch of air is relatively cool. Portland size 75. Tomorrow 82, beautiful weather, mostly sunny. Saturday 86. And the latest on the heat wave or hot weather coming with our weather impact alert. Now only eyeing 2 days that will be 90 or better, and that is Sunday and Monday. And I've dropped the potential on Monday for being super hot. I've got it at 94. Sunday 95, and I almost had Sunday warmer than that. So look for a hot Sunday afternoon. Saturday's your better bet to get some things done like yard work in the afternoon this weekend. Here's Chris.
And the whole weekend looks great for the pool, right? So we're already going to do that. I-5 from Clark County, building at the Interstate Bridge. And right now we're right about 12 minutes or so to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont. So that's not in too bad a shape. We'll hop over to the west side again, Highway 26. Watching this, it hasn't changed much from our last check. Again, all three lanes slowing a little bit near the Vista Ridge Tunnel. We'll keep it on the west side. Photojournalist Chad Dehart is making the drive from 217 north onto 26 west. And you can see that 217 northbound drive is rolling right along, but the eastbound commute on the Sunset's a little slow. Speaking of 217, we've got another weekend closure, the fourth in a series of 5 closures this weekend from 9 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. This is a northbound closure from 99 W to Shoals Ferry. This is all part of that long 217 auxiliary lanes project, adding lanes and paving and whatnot. Drew, they're in the final stretch, the home stretch here. There's one more closure next weekend, and then we're getting pretty close to wrapping up this project. Back to you.
Chris, you cannot take a coffee break. You're a critical part of our next segment. Coming up next on Sunrise, a look at Oregon's new approach to recycling. It's a recycling redo, if you will. Chris is going to look at how this could impact the way you recycle. Again, Sunrise, streaming live at 7 o'clock. We'll continue with this report in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Today is Good Energy Day at KGW, where we highlight people, businesses, and communities doing things for the environment.
Good things, all right.
Yeah.
Show me good energy.
Woo!
So Oregon is 1 month into a brand new approach to recycling. Chris McGinnis has more this morning on what's called Extended Producer Responsibility. I'm not sure if I like that huge title. Definitely don't know what it means, Chris, so please explain this morning.
It means that these big blue container-sized drop boxes may be coming to your town soon as part of the Plastic Pollution and Recycling Modernization Act. Say that 3 times fast. All producers that sell packaged products are now financially responsible to help the state collect and recycle that packaging. Although the act is facing some legal challenges, it also promises to standardize a bigger list of recyclable items statewide.
Oregon is the first to launch extended producer responsibility for packaging, which is very exciting.
Kim Holmes leads the Oregon team for the Circular Action Alliance, the nonprofit overseeing the rollout of extended producer responsibility. The goal is to make recycling simpler and more effective for everyone.
So by funding part of the recycling system, we're working to improve outcomes for materials, expand recycling, and overall make recycling easier and better for Oregonians.
Supporters say this shift will cut waste, reduce emissions, and move Oregon toward a more circular economy. According to the EPA, recycling supports 680,000 jobs nationally, nearly $40 billion in wages, and another $5.5 billion in tax revenue. The new law will pump more than $185 million into modernizing the system in Oregon.
By recycling, we are changing that model and making it circular. So we can stop extraction and we can just close the loop into make, use, and recover.
But not everyone is on board. In July, the National Association of Wholesale Distributors filed a federal lawsuit calling Oregon's law a case of regulatory overreach, arguing it unfairly impacts businesses operating outside the state. Despite the legal challenge, the program is moving forward. Producers will fund upgrades to recycling facilities, supporting local jobs, and creating more stable markets for reused materials.
The MRFs, the material recovery facilities that sort out our recyclables, will be getting financial support to make sure that they're insulated from the economic ups and downs that we've seen in recycling over the recent years.
And for Oregon families, especially in rural towns like Pendleton, the changes will be noticeable. New curbside collection and drop-off sites are being built where none currently exist.
By the end of 2027, everyone across Oregon will be able to recycle the same materials and have the same access.
So the program launched July 1st, and whether there are any modifications resulting from the lawsuit is to be determined. But the plan over the next 2.5 years is to have equal access to that larger standardized list of recyclables statewide. And that's good energy.
And that's Chris McGinnis. Pretty cool story there. I mean, there's always some updates and things to know about the recycling. I remember Chris is the person who told me that I should not be sticking my soiled pizza box into the recycling bin. So I'm thinking, oh, I guess I have to put it in the trash. But Chris told me, no, you stick it in your compost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. The pizza box has got all that stuff on it. You know, usually like it's got the grease on it, and sometimes the stain.
Okay.
They can't stick that greasy box into your recycling bin.
Now, I ripped the top of the box off. I think this is all right, Mr. McGinnis. The top of the box, if it's perfectly clean, I rip that off.
Maybe.
I put that cardboard in my recycle bin. But we don't have the compost option where I live, so the other part has to go in the trash.
I would think that that's safe. If the box is dry at top, that can go in recycling.
I have some family friends who actually watch us, the Gallistas, I'll call them. They don't have, in your sink, what is it called when you hit the thing?
They don't have good choice of friends?
What?
The garbage disposal?
Garbage disposal. Yes, they don't have a garbage disposal. They do the composting. So there's no garbage disposal. They have this little like catch-all thing, and they put it in like a little thing.
Yeah. This is probably going too far. My mom, growing up, we'd have a trash can in the kitchen.
Yes.
But if you had like a banana peel, she didn't want you to put that in the trash can. She kept like a little thing up top.
Yeah.
But it was just sitting there.
Compost.
It's gross though. It was sitting on the top of our counter. And she said, I don't want to put that in the trash because if I don't take the trash out tonight, she felt like it was going to stink.
But it would stink. Anyway. Now the whole kitchen stinks.
At the end of the day, she would tie that bag up and throw it. I know. Everyone does it differently, I guess.
Raise your hand if you'd like to talk about something else. Anybody?
Sorry. Wow.
Oh, my goodness, China.
Hi.
Hey, this is good news. This is the rain map from yesterday. PDX Portland turned out to be the absolute bullseye of rain in Oregon. Check it out. 43/100ths of an inch. About half of that fell yesterday morning. The other half came with showers in the afternoon and even into the evening. There was also a wet bullseye in Tillamook, 31/100ths. Newport was about half of that. And then when you got south of Portland, especially south of, say, Wilsonville, there just wasn't as much rain. Salem had only barely measurable at 0.01. But we had decent rain up through southwest Washington, Vancouver 3/10, Kelso 17/100ths of an inch. Gauge in the Cascades up at Stampede Pass in Washington, 77/100ths of an inch of rain. By any measure, those of us that got it, mainly from Portland northward, it was a really good August soak. We've got some showers lingering in the northeast corner of our state this morning. Otherwise, we are all dry here in Oregon and up through the western part of Washington. Futurecast 9 o'clock this morning, some varying clouds, but generally a day that will gradually become partly to mostly sunny. Here we are later today at 5 p.m. And then all dry tomorrow, no storm chance, maybe some cloudiness in spots early, otherwise a partly to mostly sunny Friday. So 7 days back to being dry, and we've got a couple really comfortable days before we get to that hot Sunday coming up. Some sunshine. You go out to the gorge and it's really beautiful, especially from Hood River off to the east. Here's the Oregon Veterans Home camera in the Dalles. Again, I keep forgetting the weather station out in the Dalles, for whatever reason, is down. It's not reporting right now. I'm not sure when that's going to come back online. Here's Hood River. Similar beautiful sunshine. Love the shadows of the trees on this golf course this time of the early morning. That's Indian Creek Golf Course in Hood River. Just a beautiful day. West winds 10 to 20 this afternoon. Temperatures in Hood River also only in the 70s, so maybe only like 73 or 74 today. Here's Snookwinds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. Morning cloud cover, but sun is coming. 58 degrees right now. Winds are light. Here are the clouds over downtown. There are some breaks, but kind of a gray start to our day. 62. 60 up in Kelso, also being reported as mostly cloudy. Those are current temperatures. So here we go with a nice afternoon. Mostly sunny skies developing. Salem will hold at about 78. Corvallis could get up to 80. Southwest Washington certainly only in the 70s here with afternoon sun coming. Longview 72, Battleground and Vancouver each at 75. And I have Portland at 75. Nice day. Mostly sunny tomorrow after any early clouds, 82. Saturday we start to warm up, but not bad, 86. And then now it looks like, this is good news, only 2 days are going to be up into the 90s. And right now I've got only mid-90s, so we've backed off somewhat. 95 Sunday, 94 Monday, the KGW weather impact alert for the hot afternoons. And then it looks like we're back into the 80s on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We take it out to the west side. Photojournalist Chad Dehart manning the wheel of Drive 8. He is heading northbound on Cornelius Pass Road right now, also known as Oregon Highway 127. The break in the rain today means that ODOT will be resuming chip sealing. You can see they've got the orange flags out there for road work that will start in about the 8 o'clock hour. This is significant because they've got to basically alternate traffic one lane at a time with a pilot car throughout the day today. That starts at 8 o'clock today and tomorrow. So for the thousands of you that use Cornelius Pass Road, plan on some lengthy delays there today and tomorrow, or take the long way around. That's Highway 30, 405, and Highway 26. Back to the freeway drive right now. It looks like, I'm not sure if we got a traffic stop or what. We'll skip past that. That is on the ramp, by the way, from SR 14 westbound to I-5 south. I-5 right now is about a 14-minute commute to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont. Quick check back over the west side freeways. The outbound Sunset's in good shape. The inbound drive is riding the brake a little bit coming down the hill from the zoo into the tunnel. But again, this isn't too bad right now. 17 minutes gets you in from Brookwood Parkway. Sunrise rolls on after this break.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back to Sunrise. President Trump's latest round of tariffs went into effect at midnight East Coast time. NBC's Jay Gray brings us more on this, specifically the impacts on tech companies and on India.
Apple is announcing that it will...
In an Oval Office meeting with Apple CEO Tim Cook, touting the company's promise to invest $600 billion in U.S. manufacturing over the next 4 years, President Trump announces a new tariff on semiconductors and chips with one caveat.
So 100% tariff on all chips and semiconductors coming into the United States. But if you've made a commitment to build, or if you're in the process of building, as many are, there is no tariff.
Specifics, including when the tech tariffs will take place and exactly how U.S. manufacturers will qualify for an exemption, still aren't clear. What is clear, though, is the president's frustration with India.
They're fueling the war machine, and if they're going to do that, then I'm not going to be happy.
Raising the country's tariff from 25% to 50% just hours before the plan goes online as a punishment for buying oil from Russia. Announcing that decision, as Special Envoy, Steve Witkoff meets with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow ahead of a Friday deadline for increased U.S. economic sanctions if there's no ceasefire with Ukraine. The president on social media calling the meeting highly productive and writing, "Great progress was made," suggesting that there may now be a path to face-to-face meetings with Putin and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky.
That road was long and continues to be long, but there's a good chance that there will be a meeting very soon.
A White House official telling NBC News there's no set plan or location, but that the meeting could take place as early as next week. Jay Gray, NBC News, Washington.
Let's take a look at some other national headlines with your Morning Rush. We're learning more about the Army sergeant who shot and injured 5 service members at Fort Stewart in Georgia yesterday. 28-year-old Cornelius Radford is in custody. Fort Stewart officials say he used a personal handgun, not a military weapon. The 5 service members who were injured are all expected to recover. Intel stock slipped this morning after President Trump called for the company's CEO, who just took over in March, to resign immediately. In a Truth Social post, the president said Intel's chief executive is, quote, highly conflicted because of alleged ties to China. After 25 years with NASA and one dramatic final mission, astronaut Butch Wilmore is retiring. The announcement comes just a few months after Wilmore and Suni Williams spent an unplanned 9 months in space after Boeing's Starliner ran into trouble. Wilmore is a Navy vet and a former test pilot who flew on 3 missions, including the Space Shuttle Atlantis. And that's a look at your Morning Rush. The 7:30 half hour of sunrise is just a few minutes away as we take this live look from the State Capitol building there in Salem. Again, more sunrise for you right after this.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We are coming up on 7:29 on your Thursday morning drive. We pick it up with the traffic alert on the west side. Cornelius Pass Road resuming the chip seal work this week, resuming that today and tomorrow starting at 8 a.m. And that means that they're going to be flagging 1 lane of traffic through the area north of Germantown Road to Skyline with a pilot car. So expect significant delays there today and tomorrow, starting as early as 8 o'clock. You may want to take the long way around Highway 30, 405. And the Sunset. There's a live look right now at I-5 from Clark County. That's actually not too bad. Better than it was yesterday. Rod, 15 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge.
I should have slept in. I should just be coming into work right now then. Here's a look at our Salem sky camera. We have mostly cloudy skies, but we are dry, and this is a day with the promise of partly to mostly sunny skies to develop. 62, a similar sky condition over Portland, and similar temperature at 62. I have some decent sun at noon, 67 degrees, a very comfortable 75 for a high, and will be pretty nice the next couple of days. Right now it looks like only 2 days will be up into the 90s. We have the impact alert on Sunday and Monday.
Let's head down to the Oregon coast to start this half hour. Sunrise, Chinook Winds Casino Resort Sky Cam there in Lincoln City, showing the ocean, the waves, the cloudy skies, the signs of daylight, but the sun struggling to break through, I'd say, at this point in the game.
Sand. It shows the sand.
Oh, yeah. You like the sand, Rod?
I like the sand.
What, walking on the beach?
What do we say to that person who was walking along the beach there, China?
Good morning.
There you go. Rodney Hill, you got the weather forecast for us. How's it looking?
We do. Nice day. We will be all dry. The clouds, coast and valley will be breaking up for a partly to mostly sunny day. Here's that same camera. The temperature in Lincoln City is 58 degrees right now. Portland, pretty similar. Again, the promise of partly to mostly sunny skies coming our direction. Right now we're at 62, 67 to noon, and even with sunshine, 75 degrees. August, I know it's early in the month, Chris, but so far we're averaging roughly 3 degrees cooler than normal. Look at us.
It feels good too, right? All right, let's get you out the door. A quick check of the drive out of Clark County. Not bad. 205 in good shape. I-5 not bad. 14 minutes get you in from Main Street. Here's a live look at SR14 and I-5 down towards the interstate bridge off in the distance. This is way better than it was yesterday at this time for sure. Door number 2 takes us to the Sunset, riding the brakes a little bit coming down the hill from the zoo into the tunnel. All pretty normal stuff there. Interstate 84, there's the Banfield. That's running a little thick near Hollywood, but not bad. Right now, 22 minutes gets you in from Troutdale. A reminder again on the west side, Cornelius Pass Road, the chip seal resumes today now that they've got dry weather. Both today and tomorrow, ODOT is going to be sealing this stretch of Cornelius Pass Road. And what that means is that they're going to basically shut down one lane at a time and alternate directing cars through the work zone with a pilot car. So guys, that'll mean significant delays on Cornelius Pass between Germantown and Skyline. If you want to avoid those, take the long way around. That's Highway 30, I-405, and Highway 26. Back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Police in Longview are searching for an armed and dangerous man they say stabbed 2 people, killing one of them. 51-year-old Alexander Rogers right there may still be driving this partially black spray-painted BMW with a Washington plate that starts with B and U. He's accused of killing 64-year-old Don Peters and trying to kill 73-year-old Andrew Peters. Police say they were found stabbed in a home off 42nd Avenue and Pennsylvania Street Tuesday. Investigators believe that he is still in the area.
Vancouver police say they found a man dead in his apartment after he crashed a tow truck into several cars and then took off. This happened last night just after 5 o'clock on Mill Plain near 160th. Police say the suspect ran a red light, hit at least 4 cars. They say 10 people were hurt, 2 of them seriously. Police later found the driver at his apartment complex. When officers got inside his apartment, they say he was already dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. A reminder this morning as well, if you or someone you know is struggling, help is available 24/7. You can call or text 988 to reach the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, which provides confidential support and crisis resources.
An 18-year-old suspect is in jail after investigators say he attacked an 82-year-old woman.
Yeah, the assault happened on a popular walking trail in Tiger, just behind the public library. It's a really disturbing story that we first told you about yesterday on Sunrise. Here's KGW's Jake Holter with the update.
For me, I don't feel threatened at all, but that's sad that anybody would do that.
First matter is State of Oregon versus Ford, 25.
18-year-old Marcellus Ford appearing virtually in Washington County Court Wednesday afternoon, accused of assaulting an 82-year-old woman Sunday night. Police say the woman was walking on the Fano Creek Trail behind the Tigard Public Library when Ford began following her. Cyclists later found the woman unconscious on the trail and called 911. She was hospitalized with serious injuries. Police say the attack appears to be random and that this type of crime is unusual in this area.
I walk it every day, 5 days a week, and I never really have had a problem.
Yeah, we're here a lot, probably almost twice a week, and found it super safe. And with the new bridge and stuff, we love it because, you know, my measure is you see all the families and everybody out here, and it's been really great for Tigard.
Surveillance video captured Ford at the library and in the downtown area after the assault. Police released surveillance photos asking for the public's help in identifying him on Tuesday, and Ford was caught soon after. Tigard resident Darren Swanson believes people shouldn't be deterred from using the trail.
People should get out and enjoy their community. So, and I think that there's a virtuous cycle there. The more people that do it, the less likely stuff like this is to happen. And if unfortunately it does happen, then immediately you can help the lady.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
Oregon Governor Tina Kotek has signed 4 bills into law addressing the state's behavioral health and substance abuse crisis. One of the bills aims to make it easier to force treatment on people with severe mental illness.
So when we see people on the street who might be having a crisis, I think we're going to have a more direct path to saying, hey, let's get you some health care right now, because you're clearly in crisis, and because you're so ill you might not know it.
The other law that passed funds new residential treatment facilities and supports safety for behavioral health workers.
The Portland branch of the NAACP is criticizing Mayor Keith Wilson for changing the city's diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. The mayor issued the changes to fall in line with directives from the Trump administration, basically saying the city cannot give preference to groups based on race or gender. Mayor Wilson says his new order protects Portland from losing millions of dollars in federal grants. But the president of the Portland NAACP chapter told us he believes this order is a big step in the wrong direction.
No matter the rhetoric, no matter the conversation and all of the shenanigans about how they did it and the way they did it, at the end of the day, it's about black people not counting.
According to the city's legal team, there are roughly 75 Portland programs and policies that need to be adjusted.
Local health officials are pushing back against Trump administration cuts to vaccine research. Health and Human Service Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is terminating 22 contracts focused on developing mRNA vaccines. Experts say that the research has saved millions of lives. Multnomah County health officials are questioning why the federal government would make cuts to research, saying it's instrumental. Kennedy, however, claims the mRNA technology poses more risks than benefits for respiratory viruses.
I think it's always a good idea to get the latest COVID vaccination because your immune system needs the new blueprint. Essentially, the structure has stayed the same, but maybe the doors have changed, the windows have kind of changed a little bit.
Now we're developing a universal vaccine at NIH, which is a vaccine that addresses the entire phylum of viruses. And so it's a vaccine that mimics natural immunity, and it is effective against any kind of mutation, so it doesn't drive the virus to mutate.
Both OHSU and Providence have also used the technology in cancer research studies. The Oregon Health Authority says it's awaiting more information on what this means, but they say vaccines are still recommended and available.
The Center for Disease Control is warning about 2 new COVID variants. They're nicknamed Nimbus and Stratus. They're considered no more deadly than previous variants, but the CDC is recommending that most adults 18 and over get an updated COVID vaccine. That's assuming that an updated vaccine will be available this fall. You can check with your doctor if you're not sure whether you should get another shot or not.
Here's a look at some of your consumer headlines. Hulu and Disney Plus will soon be combined into one app. The company says the new streaming app will be available sometime next year, but you will still be able to buy a standalone Hulu or Disney Plus subscription. Claire's has filed for bankruptcy protection for a second time. The retailer says stores will stay open during bankruptcy proceedings, but some local and locations will not survive. Claire's also filed for Chapter 11 in March of 2018 and emerged from bankruptcy in October of that year. A new government report is raising red flags about the American diet. Ultra-processed foods still make up over half the calories we eat, and that may be why you're struggling to lose weight. So listen to this. The study blames a combo of food extracts, additives, and industrial ingredients, making these products cheap, easy to get, and calorie-packed. Researchers found that people lost twice as much weight on homemade meals compared to healthy store-bought options. So this is something that I can speak on. You guys remember I did this bodybuilding competition in the end of June. For 6 months, I had a personal trainer. I went to him 5 days a week, The first 3 months, I ate healthy foods.
Right.
I wasn't like strict on it, wasn't told to be strict on it. Healthy foods from Whole Foods and protein bars and healthier options. I didn't lose any weight. The entire time, I did the exact same
Diet?
No, the exact same like
Workout routine?
Workout routine. Nothing changed, and I lost 20 pounds 3 months after that, like strictly eating stuff that I made at home. So I'm sorry, that was confusing.
So no protein bars, which is something you would buy.
Yes.
That
So
last month, everything you made at home.
yeah. So basically, for 6 months, I did the same exact workout routine. Nothing changed at all. For the first 3 months, I ate healthier options from Whole Foods or Market of Choice. The last 3 months, I made my own food: chicken, eggs, steak, or whatever. And that's when I dropped 20 pounds. So you can work out as hard as you want, do as much cardio as you want. If your food is not dialed in and you start making it yourself, you're not going to lose any weight.
I think the most confusing part to our viewers is, did you need to lose 20 pounds? But I'll say this much. You saw, Rod, the results in that workout competition were pretty crazy. China was ripped.
Yeah.
Ripped.
Yeah.
So make your own food at home.
Can I share real quick my favorite diet story or calorie story you've had here in KGW over the years? This is some years back. And there was a government study. The government study said, and we aired it, turns out those supersized fast food meals with the larger fries and the larger drinks and all that have more calories than the old smaller sized meals.
Oh, bigger means more calories, huh?
Your tax dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen.
Crazy.
Ba-dum-bum. Here's a look at our satellite radar. We've got, we actually aired that story. Now, did we really fund this story? Are you kidding me? We've got mainly dry weather, some showers out in the northeastern quadrant of our state, but generally this will be a partly to mostly sunny day becoming. Now the cameras here on the west side all show quite a bit of cloudiness. Here, overcast, that's the Enid Otter Crest south of Lincoln City down there in Lincoln County, and that camera looking down to the south. Providence Park, the West Hills, the clouds here in Portland, we're at 56 degrees, not much of any wind. Certainly no weather-related issues out the door this morning, 61 in Wilsonville and 61 degrees in Vancouver and 61 degrees in Aurora and Kaiser this morning. All right, Abe, hello. Doesn't Abe look like freshly washed and groomed? Just a beautiful photo. Dog of the day at kgw.com. You email your dog's name and photo to that address, and your dog will go in the queue and become our dog of the day. Okay, this afternoon, everybody's dry. Everybody, including the beaches, partly to mostly sunny skies. Notice highs generally in the 70s, all inland areas, and then 60s at the coast. Here's our updated 7-day, and there's a significant tweak, if you will. 75 today. We'll have some afternoon sun, partly to mostly sunny. Really nice still tomorrow. Up to 82, still super comfortable. 86 Saturdays, the warm-up continues. It now looks like only back-to-back days will get up into the 90s, and that would be Sunday and Monday. And it also looks like, you can make the argument that of the two, Sunday will be the hottest. I have 95. I almost put down 96 or 97, so we'll see. Monday on the flip side, 94 could be actually cooler than that. We've taken off the board that threat of being up to around 100 degrees. So still some impact alert days, Sunday and Monday, but overall the news is good. Here's Chris.
Thanks for that. We had some earlier trouble on I-5 southbound near the Morrison Bridge. It looks like that disabled vehicle, whatever, I think that was the situation here. It looks like that's cleared. And you can see actually southbound I-5 is moving along a little bit better. We're still a little slow on the ramp from 84 West. You're tripping from Troutdale, 25 minutes now to get you to the I-5 split, so that's not too bad. I-5 through North Portland, slow and steady. That's the southbound commute near Lombard. You're driving from Clark County about 16 minutes now, Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. And heads up this weekend, 217, the fourth in a series of 5 weekend closures. This time, it's northbound 217 from 99W to Shoals Ferry. That closure kicks in at 9 o'clock on Friday evening. They will repeat this again next weekend, guys. This 217 auxiliary lanes project that's been ongoing for 2.5, 3 years is getting really close to wrapping up, but first, a little bit more paving to do. Back to you.
Thank you, Chris. All right, coming up in 90 seconds, we are going to find out if Rod and Drew are ready to head back to school with some back-to-school trivia.
Wow.
Yeah, so don't go anywhere. Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues right after this.
Wow.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
A lot of local districts will kick off the school year in just 3 weeks, including the Portland Public School District. Hundreds of teachers from the district gathered yesterday morning to go over best teaching practices. Superintendent Kimberly Armstrong says literacy rates and attendance are two areas where the district can improve. She was also joined by a special guest, former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who spoke to students and staff. Since Armstrong took over as superintendent last year, she emphasized the importance of earning better early literacy scores. This spring, she said reading scores in the district were at a crisis level.
This is the first week of the annual KGW School Supply Drive, so a quick shout out here and a thank you to our sponsors this year, On Point Community Credit Union, Rick's Custom Fencing, and Safeway. Safeway and Albertson stores are stepping up big time starting next week, letting shoppers donate to the school supply drive through the pin pad at their checkout stands. Safeway spokesperson Joe McGinnis says their employees also get involved, packing up supplies that go to local students.
So we have Safeway at Albertsons across the whole state that collect funds, and then those school supplies that we buy with those funds go right back to those districts where the stores are. Sometimes it just takes like a little bit of us to make a huge difference for someone else.
You can donate, by the way, at local Safeway and Albertson stores next Monday, August 11th through August 25th. So there you go.
All right, all week we've been talking about the school supply drive and kids heading back to school soon. So I wanted to see if you two are ready for back to school season with a little trivia. So,
we're ready. Aren't we,
So
Drew?
think of this.
Did you know about this? I just found out about this segment like 4 minutes ago.
I just found out about when she said it.
Okay.
Buckle up. It's like, are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Oh boy, this is.
I think not. Okay, your
That's an
question.
easy one. No.
Hold on. Your
All right.
question is,
All right.
what is the longest river in the United States?
Oh, wait a minute. How are we doing this? Is he going first? Am I going first? What do you think?
Do we just answer when we want to?
Yeah.
Missouri.
That's longer than the Mississippi, is it? Wow, I'm going to say Mississippi.
You're going to say Mississippi?
Yeah.
You're going to say Missouri.
He's from Missouri. So
Are
I
we
feel like
locking in our...
We're locking it in.
He's from Missouri. He's probably right. I'm going to go Mississippi.
And the longest river is... Missouri.
Dun,
Yeah.
ta-da,
As soon as you
ta-da,
said that
ta-da,
word, I thought, how could the guy
ta-da.
from Missouri be wrong about the Missouri River?
You could have said
I
Missouri,
know,
too.
I know, but I did think if you just asked me without Rod here, I would have guessed Mississippi.
So you locked in Mississippi.
Missouri.
Yeah.
That's it. That's over?
That's it.
Oh, Rod wins.
Yeah.
So we're smart as fifth graders? I feel
You
like,
are.
You are.
I feel like we're I don't know, Drew. Do you feel like we've insulted the fifth graders out there
Probably.
saying that we're as smart as they are?
Did you ever think that the Mississippi was longer? Or you always
Well,
knew about the Missouri?
You know, we talk a lot about the Missouri River, and you grew up in Missouri.
that makes
The
sense.
Missouri starts up in, I'm not going to get this exactly right, but it's like up in Montana, somewhere in there, and then trickles all the way down to Minnesota, and then comes down. Or not Minnesota, I'm sorry. It comes through Nebraska into Iowa, but it's longer than just the straight shot from Minnesota.
I've heard it's the longest river in the U.S., actually.
Yeah, it is. All right. What's the second muddiest river in the United States? You could say Mississippi 1. I'd say Missouri 2. I don't know. Both kind of muddy looking. Hey, we have a water story following that. I shared this yesterday. If you didn't see it and you are a boater, remember this weekend's going to be sunny both days, 80s on Saturday, 90s on Sunday. A lot of people will be taking to our waterways. Weather Service has this warning up through Monday for unusually low river levels on the Willamette and the Columbia and the Portland metro area, especially during low tides. Now, this is a bit confusing because they don't measure the river level from the actual bottom up. There's a mean spot where they measure, but nonetheless, the messaging is unusually shallow spots. So just keep an eye on the water levels if you're boating this weekend out in the sunshine on the Columbia and the Willamette in the Portland area. All right. We have some showers almost all the way over into Idaho if you look at the northeastern corner of our state. Otherwise, we're all dry. We still have clouds kind of holding in there on the west side, 62 in Salem. Clouds over downtown Portland and 62 as well. 60 up in Kelso, the Bend 61. 61 in John Day. This will become a completely dry day across our state and up into southwest Washington and all areas, including the coast. 59 in Astoria right now. Will eventually become partly to mostly sunny. So really nice weather expected moving forward on our Thursday. Light winds to northwest 5 to 15. Pacific City afternoon sun getting up to about 67 degrees. In the valley, this shows Corvallis could hit 80. Salem and McMinnville each in the upper 70s. In fact, statewide, most inland areas will be in the 70s. We have 72 up in Longview and then mid-70s in Vancouver and Battleground and projecting 75 in Portland. Really nice weather, certainly well below normal for this time of the year. Tomorrow 82, 86 on Saturday, more typical. And the update on the hot weather and the impact alert for the hot weather is that it now appears things would really have to change. All the models now show only 2 days getting up into the 90s, Sunday and Monday. There's still some question to me in terms of how high we could go Sunday. I think we could be hotter than 95. We'll see. Then on Tuesday, we're back into the 80s, and Wednesday, I've got 84. And that is your update. Here's Chris.
Thanks for that, Rod. Let's get you back over to the west side. Photojournalist Chad D. Hart has been manning the wheel here of Drive 8. He's staked out here on Cornelius Pass Road with the dry weather resuming today. Chip sealing resumes on Cornelius Pass Road between Germantown and Skyline Boulevard. This is significant because, of course, there's not a lot of detour to get right around this specific area. And ODOT will be using pilot cars and flaggers to direct alternating lanes through the work zone throughout the day today, beginning as early as 8 o'clock and again tomorrow. So if you want to avoid that congestion, take the long way around Highway 30, I-405, Highway 26. Here's the live look right now, by the way, of Highway 26 approaching the Sylvan exit. That eastbound drive is a little slow. Right now, we're about 25, 26 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough to the Vista Ridge Tunnel. Drew?
Thank you, Chris.
We need to understand how our buildings fail so that we can do better designs.
Taking the waves indoors. Oregon State University researchers are using these mini homes to make real homes more resistant to strong waves and flooding. We'll share their work when sunrise. Streaming live here at 7 o'clock continues in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Researchers at Oregon State University are working to help developers build stronger homes in areas that are often hit with rough weather.
Meteorologist Doreen Neary shows us how they're testing construction one wave at a time.
Generally, when you're doing research, you're hoping to find some success. Well, in this case here at the Oregon State University Wave Lab, they're hoping to fail. The sounds of waves crashing might make you think of a day at the beach, but these are not beach waves.
We have a number of communities living by the coast, and the storms are, the storm surge and the waves are affecting and damaging some of those houses.
Pedro Lamonaco is the director of the OSU Wave Lab. Researchers from the school and across the country are trying to determine how these waves can help them build better homes. These two homes behind me are built on a 1-to-3 scale, meaning they are built 3 times smaller than a regular house. With every wave slamming the house, it tells these guys what's happening to the integrity of the home. The orange house is representative of a house in a 100-year floodplain, which has a higher chance of being flooded in any year, while the greenhouse is representative of a 500-year floodplain.
It's just a matter of time. The longer you are interacting with the coast, there are more chances for you to see the extreme events. And what we are observing is that those extreme events are happening.
After every test, researchers and students would get an idea of how long it took to see damage from the waves. The one in the 100-year floodplain started falling apart after wave heights of more than 3 feet kept hitting it.
And it's the largest we've ever tested structures to failure, to collapse. And that's important because we need to understand how buildings fail so that we can do better designs.
This might be a smaller scale from the real world.
At the end, it's about what the weather is doing, and still there's a number of unpredictable factors there.
But it still tells them a lot of what we can do to better protect ourselves and property. In Corvallis for Environmental Northwest, Joe Ranieri, KGW News.
So satisfying. Washington's Department of Natural Resources is offering owners of boats that are no longer seaworthy a way to get rid of them for free. Since the program began in 2022, 102 vessels have been taken and disposed of by the state. Aside from getting rid of boats polluting our waterways, recycling the boats is also saving the state a lot of money.
We've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars raising vessels and disposing of them. So getting them before they become that issue and having people bring them here is a huge cost savings to the state.
The DNR says that there are at least 300 more vessels in poor condition in Washington waters right now. Coming up at 8, the emotional reaction from the father of an 11-year-old girl allegedly kidnapped by a man in Salem, and the new video police shared of the man's arrest.
Also coming up next hour, billions of dollars in unclaimed cash. Some of it may be yours. We'll take a look at how you can claim it.